Well, it's been 10 years, we've got a battery. Let's put the ignition on and turn it, see what we get. I don't know what I've done to displease it, but it's not going. Yay! Oh, here we are, in a place we were so hoping would be a really good place. We've got the cam belts installed, timing set, valves, carbs rebuilt, oil fed warmers installed, airbox, battery, brand new battery from Tanya, coil packs, and we are a no start. Well, the side stands up, so it's either a sticky side stand button, which is there a switch? Yeah, there is one there. Or the starter motor is seized. Great. Well, there's our button. It is being pushed in. Whether it's corroded inside or not, I don't know. Well, it's supposed to be a really, really exciting day, but we have some problems. The bike's all back together and it has a battery, and it's got its igniters and coil packs and everything. And then this is the really cool bit. We have ignition. Try and do it one-handed is no fun. Here we go, we have ignition. I've got the side stand up and I'm in neutral and nothing. Now I have had the engine rotate. If it's a seized starter, this engine case has to come off and I need to get a puller. There's a load of bib bobs here that need to get out the way before I can do the 2 screws that hold the starter on. I'll look at something as simple like it's the side stand switch, yeah, maybe corrosion inside of it, so I'm going to pop that out, but things aren't looking fantastic. That should have gone straight away, it should have cranked. Oh man. So the bike's not running, there's the side stand switch, its little wire goes to here, so let's disconnect this and continuity check it and see what we got. So first things first, side stand switch. Do we have continuity? Using the multimeter in continuity mode. So we'd hear the beep. I'll just stick it up there for now. So I'm checking for continuity with the side stand. I'm just going to touch these 2 pins together. We get a little beep. I'm going to touch these together. We have continuity. I'm going to get my assistant to put the side stand up. And we lose continuity. I'm going to get my assistant to put the side stand back down. And that proves, without a shadow of a doubt, that the side stand switch is operating normally, which means that has got nothing to do with why this motorcycle is not starting. So this is where power comes into the starter motor. The starter motor is already ground. So if I just pull this little cover off, I should be able to introduce electrons there, and we'll see if the starter motor wants to move. What I have here is a power probe, and with the flick of my, okay, I can give it 12 volts. So I can introduce 12 volts anywhere I want to. So I'm just going to touch the power probe to the nut on the bottom of the starter motor. For some reason, it's getting, I'm not even touching the button, but for some reason, it's earthing out. This is not earth. But obviously there's corrosion, but for some reason, the positive line that gives the starter motor a go is earthed. I might just give it a little jolt, but the bike will make a noise if it functions, see. Yeah, that's a starter motor that moves. Didn't like that much, did it? Okay, so maybe we've got a starter motor that's okay, but we need to look further up as to why, and that's absolutely disgusting in there, why it's not getting a signal to start. So what I'm looking for is what triggers the starter motor solenoid, and deep down in here I'm touching the trigger wire that fires the starter solenoid. My problem is, it's not really a problem, it just is what it is. In order to get to it physically, I have to remove the battery, the coil packs, the top of the airbox in order just to get to it. And then I can't really perform any tests because the bike won't be back together. Well, I'll have to power probe it, I suppose, to see if I can make it work. But there's no way I can get to it. I mean, you can't even see it. Right, oh, it's right back in there. Something simple before I go any further is just to check the fuses are all intact. So, given the age of the motorcycle, it's nice and easy to be actually able to look into the fuse, and you can see the fuse wires intact for that 7.5 amp. You can see that the wires don't quite look right, and I'm talking about this one here. So for some of the others you can see the wires, this one I can't, so I've got to pull it out. I've got to have a look. Just looks like it's been pushed down maybe. Just checking continuity really, because I don't have a replacement. It's not blown. Ah, it's absolutely fine. Worth doing because I didn't have a replacement for it. Okay, so as it stands, we don't have any blown fuses, so it's not a fuse issue. I'm going to start with the easy things first. So I'm going to start with this switch, which should be easy enough to get into, and then we'll see if there's a problem here. I followed the wiring down, it just splits off somewhere back there and then goes into the loom. So if it's not this switch, which is the easiest thing to get to, I am taking the battery, coil packs, airbox cover off in order just to get to that little baby down there, that little round thing there, and then I can see if we can actuate it and whether it's faulty or not, order a replacement or not, and then we'll see if it will crank over. I reckon it'll crank and crank for a while because the carbs are empty right now, and it's a vacuum actuated pump, so it's like a, it's not really a, is it a hydraulic? Pneumatic. It's a pneumatic pump which is vacuum pneumatic. So cool. I'll get started. And I'm inside. So taking it apart. I was hoping this would be focus. I was hoping this switch would be all gummed up, but I think it's working. There's only one way to find out, right? Okay. We're going back to continuity mode. So here's our continuity check. All right. And you can see the solder joints. So I can get to the solder joints. So, okay, that's it depressed. Let's see if we can do this. And then let go, push, let go. Oh man, so it's not the starter button. Hey, guess what? I get to put this all back together. Yay! Product placement check. This is worth contact oil, 20 quid a can. And I'm gonna juice it all up in there. And what it does is it's just amazing at getting rid of stuff that's on contacts. I'm just making sure that this stop run switch has every chance to. Ignition on. Whoa, whoa, hello baby. Why don't don't you want to run? What's up with you? A bit of choke. Again, the carbs will be absolutely dry. Holy crap, this is so cool. I'm going to run that battery down in a minute. So the reason we are cranking and cranking and cranking and nothing's happening, the float bowls are empty. We've got to look for leaks in case they're overflowing here. Luckily we're quite dry. So they're empty, and it has a vacuum valve there, which is actuated by this cylinder. The inlet for the for this cylinder, and then this one, its inlet has got a little pipe that goes to the pump. Crazy, isn't it? So we've got to have vacuum created by the vertical cylinder, and then we've got to have vacuum created for the pneumatic pump before we can even think about filling the float bowls, which are up here. Great. Okay, let's crank again. Okay, the float bowls are just starting to fill up now. So if I crank, God forbid it backfires, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to get melted. But yeah, if I crank and open the throttle side, you'll hear some whoa, vaporization happening. Well, if there's something I'm learning, it's that the bike has an intermittent starting problem. So for instance, if I turn it on and I hit go, it's as dead as a doornail. And I keep hearing noises inside of here every time I turn it on, so I'm wondering if it actually needs an ignition now. Right, okay, really. See, what a nightmare. For now, I'm going to leave it on charge. And let the battery recover. And we'll come back to this another day. That is so disappointing. So disappointing that it's a random starter. Oh my God. Yes, I know. It's outrageous. Try tracing that fault where it's a random, 1 minute it will crank, next minute it won't. Huh? Tell me about it. I don't know. I'm telling them. So, what a pain. Not sure what direction to go in now. A random starter. I mean, it could be. I've repaired the wiring for that. So what's this problem? Clearly, it has one. And this does make some noises. Yeah. Not interested at all. Anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, I don't know what to suggest.